Victims of flooding, which have ravaged different parts of the country, have lamented that despite huge donations made by well meaning Nigerians and other relevant stakeholders to provide succor, they continue to face lack and neglect due to poor and ineffective distribution of the relief materials donated to them. In a bid to find a solution to the issue, Adakole Ijogi, a political economist, in an exclusive interview with Clearview Television's Gloria Atta, says effective collection and distribution mechanisms by relevant stakeholders is one of the keys to tackling the challenge.
Nigeria is currently battling its worst floods in a decade, with over 600 people killed and more than 100,000 people affected to various degrees. The disaster has also destroyed thousands of hectares of farmlands, creating fears of a disruption of food supply and contributing to an increase in poverty level. So far, 31 states and the FCT have been affected by the flood, and more than 1.3 million people forced out of their homes. Worried by the continuous devastating impacts of the flood on the socio-economic development of the country, well-meaning Nigerians, including philanthropists, politicians, and non-governmental organizations both home and outside the shores of Nigeria, have donated cash and relief materials worth hundreds of millions of naira to the flood victims across the country. Despite these huge donations made across all quarters to provide succor to displaced flood victims, they continue to face lack and neglect due to poor and ineffective distribution of the relief items donated to them. In an exclusive interview with Clearview Television, Adakole Ijogi, a political economist, says effective collection and distribution mechanisms by relevant stakeholders is a solution to tackling the challenge.
Firstly, what they should do, one, is to get people within that IDP camp to be part of the process of the logistics of collection, distribution of these inventories. It shouldn't be a government setting up, like a state government setting up a committee filled with civil servants where they give them monies, or they pull in donations from non-governmental organizations, and some of these monies get missing. When they buy the food stuff, it ends up in their houses. I think that there should be an effective way of distributing these inventories to these people in IDP camps. That is, in one, involve security agency, just nothing too big, just small security agencies. The people from within the IDP camp should be represented, and then of course the government officials. If possible, they should even add NGOs, non-governmental organizations that are leaning towards distribution of relief materials. When the people are batched in IDP camps and in the internal displaced people's camp, they should use technology in signing them on, so that the government knows that knows who they are, their names, their ages, their health status. Everything should be put on a technology platform, a simple technology as WhatsApp. You can set up those kind of group platforms, or you can get people to set up that platform on behalf of government for them. In that way, you have a two-way feedback channels. So if the people don't get it, there's a reporting channel that doesn't take that long, because we're talking about their livelihoods.
He speaks further on how the federal government can put an end to the perennial flood disasters that have become a norm in Nigeria.
We should map out our cities in clear areas so as to avoid building in water-prone environments. We just build without any planning. There are places that are prone to flood. The government must insist that houses are not erected in those places.
Reports have shown that 9 out of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals are negatively impacted by flooding. These include good health and well-being, life on land, clean water and sanitation, sustainable cities and communities, eradicating poverty and hunger, amongst others. It is therefore necessary for relevant stakeholders to join hands and put an end to perennial flooding disasters in the country. Gloria Atta reporting for Clearview Television.